Hey there, Wayne Herring. I want to do a quick explanation of how to do run from the bull with your sales team. And I've got these super fancy notes on the screen. Guys on my bulletin board there, clients that I'm working with, know that I'm fond of whipping up a little handout in the moment when there's something that we can work on to further somebody's business. And so I just put together a quick handout of Run from the Bull. The backstory is I had done a sprint session, a Run from the Bull session with one of my clients where they were struggling to make dials every day, call people. They would come to the end and they just hadn't really reached out and contacted that many people. It's completely normal. It happens all the time. They've got a good flow of actual warm leads. They're not even completely cold, but still the phone, somewhere I have one here. Oh, this phone, or the old-fashioned kind with the crank, whatever, they all can weigh, 1,000,000 pounds. Phones tend. And so here's the deal, and here's what we did. Let me just slide my screen up. We did this Run from the Bull exercise, and we were able to make more sales dials in 30 minutes than they had ever made in a day with a small team. And so I'm going to run through how you can do with your team a Run from the Bull exercise. And yes, if you've got a sales team, if you're the owner, if you're a sales manager, you need to do exercises like this. You need to work with them closely, coaching, training, staying right on it. So here we go. Where does Run from the Bull come from? Well, I had this guy, Coach Shields, and so Coach Shields was the head football coach in high school, and he also taught typing class. And I had typing class with Coach Shields, and he would run 2 exercises with us designed to increase our proficiency, 2 drills, if you will, almost every class. And they were Ride the Bull and Run from the Bull. Ride the Bull, we'll have to do another session about this another day because it does translate into how you can work with your sales team. But Run from the Bull was the second one we do. Ride the Bull, you would type at the fastest rate you could and still maintain 97-98% accuracy. So you would type quickly but focus on accuracy. Whereas Run from the Bull, what he'd say was, and you have to picture a high school football coach with like the muscles and his sports shirt that's a little bit too tight and a clipboard, and he'd say, now we're gonna run from the bull, and we would. And on Run from the Bull, you would type as fast as you could without regard to accuracy. Just type fast, like you'd be looking at a piece that you'd be typing, and it'd be directionally accurate. But nobody scored it. We'd only scored how many words per minute you type. So that's where this comes from. And so here's what you're going to do to run an exercise like this. First of all, you're going to schedule distraction-free time. You should probably schedule a 2-hour time block where you're going to work with your team on this activity. There's a lot of reasons you should be blocking 2 hours free with your sales team to work together. This is one of them. And then here's what you're going to do. So you gather them up, you get together, and first of all, the first part of the exercise, what you need to do, what you need to get happening is, I think it's a good idea to, it depends on your demeanor, what kind of person you are, what kind of relationship you have with them, but you want to let them know this is not a normal sales meeting, which I hate anyway. That's another video. But this is an exercise. This is an implementation session. This is, we're going to work together. So I actually did, the song Move It, Move It. You got to move it, move it. I won't sing for you, I promise. With these guys the other day. And it was, I worked with them before, but this was my way of letting them know today was going to be different. Today was going to be high energy. Today, most of the time we're together is high energy. But this is even like take it up another notch. So if you do something to set this time aside as special and different and play some song, play some music, whatever it takes, but get the mood up a bit if you can. And what we're going to do is we set up the exercise by saying, guys, we're going to do this great thing today. We're going to run from the bull. I'm going to be here with you the whole time. We're going to do it together. I'm not going to, Mr. Owner, I'm not going to be running out taking phone calls, as that's more important during my training session because we don't want to do that. We want to let them know if they're training, this is the most important thing in the world. They matter to you. You're with them entirely. Have somebody hold your calls. Your business should run for 2 hours without you, right? Today I'm with you. Today we're going to do it. First step, we're going to list 25 names on a piece of paper, not on the computer screen. This is on the paper, names and phone numbers since we're dialing. In this particular case with this client I was working, we had another column for 3 different categories, because the way that I get people to list 25 names and you have them write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or on a computer, you can do it on Excel as long as you're going to print it out. But 25 names, and I do categories, so I could say the first section of names are going to be people that are in your pipeline and active and you need to reach out to them. Let's say category 1. Category 2 are people who we interacted with about 6 months ago, but they've gone cold. Category 3 are people who are potential referral sources. So there's lots of different categories, but we want 25 names. That's the important part. 25 prospects. 25, I would keep out referral sources actually. 25 different, 25 names, could be 3 categories of prospects. Maybe the third category is somebody who's downloaded a lead magnet from your website. But have them depart, get the names, and while they're getting the names, you're walking around checking on them. You're encouraging them. You're like, let's do this thing, right? You got to keep it up. You got to, if they're not thinking of names, if they're blocked, help them find one. Hey, what about that guy so-and-so? How about with that lady so-and-so? What about, right? You want to help them. Get the names. So after you get the names, you come back together and you say, look, we're going to take a break. 10 minutes, walk away, do your thing. 7 minutes is always a good figure for a break because it's an odd time. Go get another cup of coffee, go to the restroom, whatever, because we're going to work now for an hour when we come back. But take a break. Number 4, now here's what we're going to do. The run from the bull style call means we are not going to give anybody any feedback while they're making their calls. We're not going to interject. We're not going to make faces. Your job as the manager and coach is to do nothing but help, push, motivate, cheer, ring a bell, whatever you need to do, but there is no questioning what your people are saying. And they don't need to question what they're saying. There's going to be no judgment when you get back together. That's the run from the bull. Type really fast. Don't worry about accuracy. We're not going to make awful calls, but no judgment. Dial as fast as you can. There's a cold call scene with Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness where he's dialing on a phone number on a phone book page, and what he says is, I didn't drink very much, so I wouldn't have to go to the bathroom. I didn't put the phone down so that I could dial the next one. You want to, it's a good idea. I'll get the link for you to YouTube to show people this, as this is the epitome of running from the bull. Tell them the story about running from the bull, going as fast as you can. Get away from that thing. So what you can do, though, in number 4 is role play what will happen when people answer the phone, and then role play what happens when there's no answer if you're going to leave voicemails. You don't have to. Depends what your philosophy is. But in my block, we did voicemails. And so when you role play phone calls, by the way, people can't be face to face. People have to be back to back or in a different part of the room or literally using the phone to role play. In this case, because you're doing a quick rehearsal and we don't want to nitpick, we don't want to get it exactly right. In fact, I wouldn't even give them any critique or feedback on this part, on number 4. I would just have 2 people sit back to back, give them 30 seconds to role play what happens when the other person answers. Then give them 30 seconds of role play voicemail. Not a bad idea to write down the things they're going to say, bullet points or actual words, quickly. But this has to be quickly. You get 15 minutes to do this during this exercise because it's run from the bull, not ride. We aren't that worried about accuracy. Okay, now, then what we do in number 5 is we simply send them off to their desks and we say you got 30 minutes and I want you to watch the clock because we're starting at, 2:05. Whatever the time is. And there's no better time of the day than any other to call. The best time to call is whenever you can schedule this and do it and call. If you're thinking about that, you're thinking too much. Dial, time block, together. We're all in this together. If you want to dial some, that's good. Fine. Often better, though, to walk around, coach, encourage, pat on the back if people are comfortable with that. Look at what they're doing, nod in approval. Remember, no faces, no grimaces when they say something. It's all positive feedback on this one. Because what we're trying to do is elevate the amount of calls that they can make. We're trying to stretch them, push them, stretch their barriers, get them to believe it's possible, all those things. Some of you may be runners. If you're a runner and you currently run a 9-minute mile, and you want to get to the place where you could run a 10K at 8-minute miles. So from 9 to 8, you don't start off trying to run a 10K at 9-minute miles. What you do is while you're training, you have periods where you do intervals or where you do sprints, and you run at 8-minute miles or you run at 7-minute miles to feel what that's like. You got to do it for shorter lengths of time and feel what it's like. That's the other thing that this Run the Bull is like. So I hope that helps. You need to have the names written down on paper. Oh, nothing in the CRM. You do that later. After the call block's over, you put things in CRM, not during this Run from the Bull time. You would not stop and enter notes in a CRM if you were running from a bull. I wouldn't. Enter them later in another focus block. Okay. Number 6. Keep score, get people together, debrief, give a little prize to whoever made the most calls would be great. Celebrate, make a big deal. 15 minutes. No criticism on this one. Again, we're not working on technique or words on this call block. We're just working on speed and pushing the upper limit of what they believe is possible. I hope that helps. I'll include the link to Pursuit of Happiness, the cold call scene with Will Smith. It's a great one. And if this helps, I hope you like the video, share it. I don't even know where I'm going to post it. Tell your friends something. You're awesome. Take care. Happy running from the bull. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear what kind of results you got from this thing.